Hey everyone, how are you doing today? As mentioned in the daily financial news, we have two wonderful experts with us. Let's welcome Matt Hawkins, the lumberjack landlord. How you doing, sir?
What's going on, Mike? Super pumped to be here. It's Tuesday.
Yeah, you know what? You have been known this topic was coming since Saturday. So let me kind of rewind the clock for the audience. So on Friday, I was spectacularly wrong with job creations for the month of April. I was off. I was calling for 1.5 and basically 300, right? So I'm like, I've been
Yeah.
asking myself pretty much all weekend what happened.
Yeah.
And I talked about, people being, job wages keeping people at home, or it's too good. I thought about relocations. I thought about childcare. I thought about all of these things. And I really came back to the fact that, okay, let's stay out of the politics because the right is screaming this and the left is screaming that, and it all just pisses me off.
Hmm.
I wanted to go back and remember as a 12-year-old kid.
Hmm.
My mom was a stay-at-home mom. My dad, high school graduate, served in the military, didn't make a lot of money. But
Sure.
anyways, the tech area in the early 80s had a hard time. And he was
Hmm.
unemployed for 9 months.
Okay.
And I some of the most stressful days as a kid. And I don't have great memories, but I remember those days. And that's probably one of the reasons why money is such a big deal in my life.
Yeah.
So I take that. And now I want to pretend that I'm a husband wife combination somewhere in middle America. High school graduates, married my high school sweetheart, whatever you want the story to be. I don't care. But basically,
Hmm.
mom, dad, two kids, maybe eight
Yeah.
and 10, right? So they're kind of grade school age, not old enough where they can watch themselves, but not infants either. And
Sure.
and what I came back with was, you know what? If I was a family of four, mom and dad were working, maybe in the restaurant area or retail or something, never made more than 30K each,
Hmm.
had childcare expenses and all these other things. I started doing the math, and they should stay on unemployment. They should.
Hmm.
They should. It's a financially wise move.
Hmm.
And when I started doing the math, that family of four, and this was like, oh my God, they're actually living on what equates to about 100 grand today, which they
Yeah.
have never done because of
Hmm.
increased revenue and lowered expenses. I'm like, no
Yes.
wonder they have all this money. No
Yep.
wonder I go to the mall and people are like shopping outside Gucci and Prada and all these other freaking stores that drive me crazy. What? It's because people have more money than they've ever had. The
Yeah.
individual consumer, right? I don't know, the middle down, some of them truly have more cash
Yes.
because they're getting free money and they're not spending what they used to spend. There's a huge delta. So I actually think, again, if we just keep it at the individual level, a family of four, if they were making 30K a year, probably should stay on unemployment. I mean, and,
Yes.
and it's like 100 grand, dude. It's crazy. What do you think?
I agree with the conclusion, and I hate everything about it.
I do as well, right? It's like,
Yep. Yep. But the math's not wrong.
yeah.
The math is absolutely right. In fact, 57% of people
Mhm.
are making more money unemployed than they were employed.
Yeah, and then when you step back and realize the expenses that we have taken away from them, right? That's what
Yes.
really got me was like,
Yes.
okay, if the income was kind of like equal or, plus or minus 10%, I'm like, most people want to work is what I think. I don't think most
Correct.
Americans want to sit on the couch, but when the income is the same and then you take away potentially 20 grand in expenses, because again, remember after taxes, right?
Yeah.
Childcare is an after tax expense, gas,
Correct.
clothing, food at work, after
Correct.
tax expenses. And then, oh, by the
Correct.
way, if you, oh my God, then if you go and tell them, you know what, you don't have to have a mortgage payment or rent payment for 12 or 14 months.
Nope.
Talk about the incredible amount of savings people have been doing. No wonder we got $1 trillion in excess
Yeah.
savings. It's crazy.
And some people are saving, and some people have just really upped their lifestyle, Mike.
Oh
You
no,
know,
and that we're
and
going to
it's
get into that part two. Is like there's a
yeah,
downside to this, but yeah, people that don't understand money.
right.
And again, one of the things Olivia and I do, because we have such a great life that we've worked for us, we often go for a walk in the afternoon. And if it's
Mhm.
hot, which we consider 80 to be hot because we're like weak Californians, we go to a mall. And when I
Yeah.
go to a mall, I'm actually taking pictures and posting on Instagram. There are lines out the store at
Yeah.
Gucci, Prada, all the
Yeah.
all these stores that are too expensive for me. I'm like,
Yes.
what
Yep.
the hell is going on?
Yep.
And it's because these people got cash and they want to go buy that fancy $1,000 bag that they never could afford before.
Yeah,
This is going
absolutely.
to end badly for lots of people.
It's going to end really badly. And I mean, the thing is, so my story to that end is I qualified a tenant, and between her and her husband, and their adult daughter that was going to live with them, they bring in $5,700 a month.
Okay.
5,700 a month.
Yeah.
And that is their net.
Okay.
So that's not their gross. That's 5,700 a month net.
3 adults.
3 adults.
Okay.
3 adults. And it's different programs
Yeah.
and things like that. But here's the amazing number. About 5,700 bucks a month. These 3 folks are bringing in. They have not paid me rent since October.
Oh.
Yep. And they moved in September.
Oh.
And I had to call with their old landlord, who swore to me up and down that they were great, super people, never had to wait for rent, the whole 9 yards. They have not paid since October. They have done $1,800 worth of damage that I've had to repair because it was like sink lines, toilet lines, drain lines. Meanwhile, of course, never had an issue in that apartment or that house ever. So it's 100% self-inflicted gunshot wounds.
Yep.
Or plumbing wounds in this case. But we're now 5,700 bucks a month of income. And that doesn't include the fact that they are now on unemployment. So they're making, all 3 of them, and all of them are making even more. They all had the federal bump up.
Yep.
So they were all making even more. So if my math is correct, they were taking home probably about $7,500 a month. And their rent is about 1,500 bucks.
Wow. They
stopped using their oil to heat the home, and they plugged in electric space heaters because I pay electric.
Ah, how nice of them.
Mm-hmm.
They're taking every advantage. So again,
every single one.
I'm hearing from more and more landlords that this is happening a lot. I knew it was happening. It's happening to me, but it's happening more and more. I call it the cancel rent phenomenon.
It is. Yeah. I mean, we're still at 98.7% rent collected, but the gems that I have are gems. They are playing the system, playing it hard. I mean, Mike, just since October. So that's 3 months last year, 5 months this year.
Yeah.
That's 8 months. They've actually brought in about $60,000 and I've gotten $0.
Yeah.
And even worse is I worked with them to help them apply for all the money that came available March 15th.
Mm-hmm.
You'll love this. March 15th, I had them fill out everything. I gave them everything that they needed, ledgers, the whole 9 yards, everything they needed. It is now May 11th, and I still have not gotten a check for them because I reached out to their case manager and said, they still haven't completed the application. There's still a number of things outstanding.
They're doing it on purpose. This is
only conclusion, right?
Yeah. So again, this is this is going to be part A, part B, right? So part A is, again, going down to the family unit. You are making wise financial decisions in the moment. It's kind of like a kid on Halloween. The candy feels good in the moment.
Sure.
But if you continue to act this way, karma is going to come back and get you. And I promise you, if you eat lots of candy every day for a couple of years, you're going to have diabetes.
Yeah.
It's going to be a problem.
That 10th Snickers bar always is harsh.
Yeah, that's the 10th one. The first 9, cool. It's the 10th one that'll get you. But yeah, again, I go back to that because again, it kind of hit me this weekend. I'm like, they should stay unemployed with what is going on. So when you think about that, yes, the income is there, but I really do think childcare is kind of one of the missing links. Because again, I think there's some people being lazy and working the system. I think there's a lot of people, again, a lot of parents are single parents now, right? And like, gosh, my 4-year-old or 8-year-old or 9-year-old, yeah, even if their school is open, their after school activity is not.
Sure.
I mean, parents, especially single parents, really all parents, it's got to be rough. And then there are still people scared. Right. Now, I mean, I don't know what this percentage is, but it's in all buckets. But again, I think this is all coming to an end. And as we'll talk about in episode 2, if you don't start doing the right things, you are going to be in a much worse position. But yeah, I am still shocked. And I think Friday is going to be a big number, right? Friday, we have
Yeah.
consumer spending,
Hmm.
retail sales, sorry.
Hmm. Yep.
And actually, I said it on Sunday, right? We had a horrible jobs number, which I missed, or job creation number, which I missed. I bet you the freaking retail sales number is going to be off the charts. Because again, as you've just said, in your example, they've made like $60,000 and aren't spending dick. They got nothing. They're going to go to the store and buy some Prada bags and a new car.
Well, what's really cool is I know that they actually are spending a ton of money, because I actually got a call about all of the boxes from brand new toys and televisions that were out in the
Oh,
dumpster. And so the good news is that, I'd asked some of the other tenants, I said, hey, is that yours? Could you clean it up, please? And they're like, nope, nope, nope. It's this unit's. Interesting. So the good news, Mike, is that they've taken this opportunity to upgrade and get, I mean, literally, Mike, in my life, I haven't had that many flat screen TV boxes
yeah.
in my life. Like, and there was that, and there were toys and just all the cardboard from that. And so it's like, they're just literally using it as a bonanza. They're just using it as a bonanza.
Yeah. This is, and we're going to get into this episode too, because there's a lot of people using this situation, which God hopefully is a once in a lifetime thing.
Yeah.
Never want to go through this again. But they're going to come out of this worse. I think Warren Buffett has a
Yes.
saying that basically it's something, I wish I would have looked this one up, but it just came to me, right? If you spend on what you want, you have to sell what you need later or something like that.
Mhm. Yeah, exactly.
These people are going to be going, oh my God, I spent $3,000 on 5 or 6 TVs. It felt great. And then they get kicked out eventually. And they're like, well, I guess we got to leave the TVs because we can't get the fourth one in the car.
Yeah.
It's,
Yep. It's not going to go well. It is people making bad choices. And obviously there are exceptions to the rule. There's people that really need it. And that's what the government is there to do, is take care of its people when they've fallen on hard times, no fault due to them, right?
Yeah.
That's what the government's supposed to do. The challenge is, and then you see some people that will just use it as a reason to be the fuel in their fire, and then they reach greater heights than they've ever reached. It really depends on how you handle that level of stress.
Yeah.
The challenging thing is that, waste, fraud, and abuse, this is why I want the government to run as few things as possible.
Yeah.
Is because there's really nothing that they run efficiently. There's nothing that they do that's efficient. And
No.
so the challenge with that is that the way that they've deployed this capital to the market is it was inefficient.
Mhm.
And again, first and foremost, it was, yes, we'd all agree, or many of us would agree, that it was completely 1000% unconstitutional.
No, yeah.
And so that's my bigger concern, is the slippery slope that this now creates for the future. The CDC taking things upon themselves. But focusing back on the family, I think you're exactly right.
Yeah.
They're never going to make as much money as they did in the last 8 months.
Yeah.
They're never going to make that much money ever, ever, ever. And sadly, they didn't use it to get ahead. They didn't use it to even tread water. And I guess they're just gonna, because June 30th is coming very fast.
Mm-hmm.
And when that fast, and this isn't addressed, obviously they're at the top of my list, and they'll be gone within, actually, believe it or not, New Hampshire has clauses that can get people out in 7 days. So hopefully they save some of that to get into another place.
Yeah. And we're going to talk about that in episode 2, because there's going to be a downside to all of this. So
There is.
I hope there's a lot of people using this to save up. And I mean, if you really did this right, you could have saved up for a down payment, because let's not forget, first time home buyer credits are coming and all this other stuff. But no, I think there's a lot there. What is becoming clear to me is the people that really needed help, they're using the systems that have been put up around us. And I would say, I don't know, oh God, 12 of 15 people that really needed help got help.
I think that's a fair number.
Yeah.
Yep.
But there are 2 or 3 people that locked into the cancel rent idea. And I can't believe that they stopped using oil to heat their house. They're using electric just to stick you again. Yep. And they bought the heaters.
Yeah. Yep. And the crazy thing is that, because their electric bill went from $109 a month to $350, $400.
Yeah. I had a tenant one time, because there was a house I bought that had 2 units, but 1 panel. So I paid electricity. They had their in Fresno, which gets hot. They had their
Yeah.
AC running and the doors and windows all open one time.
Oh
I had a
yeah.
$900 bill. I was like,
Oh
what the
dear
hell happened?
God. Yeah.
Just to be me, just to be me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And but here's the thing, Mike. You know, at the end of the day, whether you believe in karma or so shall you sow, so shall you reap, whatever principle you believe in the boomerang effect,
Oh,
whatever which one you want to pick, it always ends up happening. And trust me, the bill that you get at the end is far, far bigger. I've seen it. I've seen it happen in people's lives around me and tenants. I don't need to worry. I just take care of my business and do whatever I need to do legally. The rest will have ramifications for
yeah.
them.
And we're going to talk about that in episode number 2, because I'm a huge believer in karma. And that's why
Yeah.
I always default to do the right thing. Do the right thing. Do the right thing. Even though it's uncomfortable, do the right thing. But when you push me, I push back harder. So let's talk about that in episode 2. Thanks, buddy.
Sounds good. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it.